Reppin' AF1 with my BFF for 10 years plus some days and months. Niggas fishy, bitches tricky, can't parlay amongst. You be trippin' if you think you could dissuade a monk. I'm focused like the 9th grader with the hoop dreams hitting them books. Bitch, I'm focused.
Alright, forgive the mess. I got shit just everywhere. My 240 body kit started showing up. It's like one of the boxes here. And parts have been showing up for other cars while I'm in the middle of moving and shit, you know what I'm saying? So like it's been getting kind of wild. Fucking wind's been going crazy lately. You know, there's been a lot of wild shit, but here we go. So, another Civic hatchback, I know, but listen to this. This car's B-Series swap. So instead of me having to like take the B-Series out of the Integra that I bought and try to put it in the Civic and then still have a non-VTEC motor, this one has a B20 VTEC motor in it. So that's really gangster. You know, I'm talking about the baby, but she's really dirty. So let's give it a quick wash. I can't just show it to you like this. You feel me, little baby?
Yo, Pierre, you wanna come out here?
Yeah, life is like a motherfucking dream. Fill my double cup up with some lean. Yeah, put my dick in your bitch plane. Yeah, rats come.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, what you gonna do? Yeah, bad boys, what you gonna do, what you gonna do?
All right, so now here it is. My 96 Honda Civic hatchback. Again, because I'm crazy. All right, boom. I know it's still wet, baby, but overall the paint ain't even bad. I mean, it's got a respray job at silver, you know what I'm saying? But overall, I'd say it's pretty nice. I mean, it's silver, it's shiny. That's kind of what matters most. It has cool little things like the SIR Civic front lip, which we don't really get over here in the United States. That's a cool little nice lip. It has a really nice add-on to it. It's got some aftermarket wheels, some upgraded brakes. Interior, little bare bones with the one seat. And this seat is out of a 92, 95 Civic, so I'm gonna be changing this out. Don't you worry about that. Steering wheel, I'm gonna change that out. Gauge cluster, I'm gonna change that out. Yeah, we're gonna put some seats in here. We're gonna wash up the interior. We're gonna do some things. But the crown jewel, well, not like a crown jewel, but it's the main reason why I purchased this car. Hold on. Come with me. Come with me. Hold on. Hold on. Technical difficulties here. Man, what the fuck going on, little babe? I know, we gotta put a filter here. I'm getting there, don't worry. So what we have here is a 2-liter, which you can't see the words, but because it's dirty. But trust me, it says B20 right there. If you're a little bit leaky. Oh, what are we doing here? This is a 2-liter VTEC engine. And if you know anything about Hondas, you know that 2 liters never came VTEC unless it was an S2000 or a K series. So this is a B series. No B series 2-liter came VTEC. So what they do is they take a VTEC head from like a Civic Si or an Integra GSR or a Type R Integra or a Type R Civic, and they put it on top of these bottom ends that come out of like CRVs and like base model Integras to give them more RPM, more horsepower, because VTEC motors make all horsepower up top. Well, let me rephrase that. VTEC motors make power across the entire board because of how they're designed, but those engines are meant to be more universal, more industrial, more regular. Think of it more like farm equipment, right? Just start them up, drive them, go. You know what I mean? VTEC engines have a little specialness to them, so that way they can rev much higher and they can make a lot more power per liter. So it's cool to potentially have here a 2-liter with VTEC. So you have the bottom end torque, which the 2-liter provides, and then you have the VTEC, which is all high RPM and where the horsepower is really going to come from. A head that flows better, a head that works better, etc., etc. Now, apparently, this motor has a ported intake manifold and a ported head with factory cams, but aftermarket upgraded springs and retainers. I've already driven the car, already did my thing, and it's not that fast. Definitely gonna need a tune. You know what I mean? She's gonna need a tune for sure. Man, it's kind of hot, boy. It's gonna need a tune for sure, which I'm gonna just put a factory Type R computer programming on it, nothing crazy, just so that way it, to me, in my experience, if you dyno tune it, you can get every last little ounce of power. However, when Hondas did Type Rs, the engines were hand built and they had special computers for them. So it had a really finely tuned computer from the factory. So I'm gonna put that program on this computer. This car has an aftermarket computer. I mean, a stock computer with a chip in it. That's old school tuning. So I'm gonna get a tune from somebody that allows me to just have the Type R mapping on this car and just change a couple things, like where the rev limiter is located and where VTEC crosses over, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So that way, man, so many cars, like back in the day, we put Type R computers on them and they just end up running really fucking good. Even little Honda single cams that don't make any horsepower, any nothing, just run on those things and all of a sudden they start working really fucking good. You know what I mean? So like the timing maps and like the fueling strategies and like all that kind of stuff play a big role in shit like this. You know what I mean? So the cool thing is that this car is modified enough to where I can be satisfied for the time being. It's got a good motor in it, runs, it drives, it works. Definitely been swallowing some dirt with no filter. And it's gonna need upgrades. Spark plug wires, spark plugs, which I already ordered spark plugs for this because that's like the first thing you do. It's like a cheap mod you can do that like kind of upgrades it off the top. So it's dirty in it here. I'm gonna have to give this a clean at some point, but I don't know if it's gonna be right now. But essentially, it has a clutch upgrade in it, factory radiator, which they work just fine. So there's no reason to really upgrade them unless you have an issue or unless the radiator cracks over time, which of course, old cars do that. Most important thing here in Florida, little baby, what that right there? Damn fool. Got AC in that bit, feel me? And best believe, that's another reason why I bought this car, is because the AC actually fucking works. You know what I mean? So, to give you kind of like a whole perspective, I bought the Integra because I actually tried to buy this car before. And this guy lives in the same county I live in. And then he had it for sale. People kept lowballing him. He said, fuck it. He took it the ad down. Didn't want to sell it anymore. Got tired of the bullshit. And I actually worked with this guy, which is crazy. So I met him before. I saw the car. Didn't even realize it was for sale when I talked to him. Because if I had, I would have just bought the car then. You know what I'm saying? So did that shit, right? Couldn't find a Civic hatchback that was manual. That was, you know, everyone had them for sale. Just read my messages, not say shit. I'm like, yo, I got cash in hand, sending pictures. I'm like, I'd like to come see the car right now. What do you want to do? Nobody would do it. Nobody would do it. Whatever. So then I ended up finding the Integra. Integra's a really good deal. And I'm like, well, I like Integras too, but I've never had an Integra. So, but I know that I love these cars, the Civic hatchbacks. I fucking love these cars. So with that, right, I bought the Integra. All right, cool. Then the following weekend, as you saw in one of the videos, the other Civic pops up for sale. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I just bought that shit. Now I'm buying this shit. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, all right, whatever. The Civic hatchback I bought ended up being a little gold mine in so many aspects. And I don't know if the guys that had it originally didn't realize or didn't fuck with the car too much. But these only come with disc brakes in the front. And they come with drum brakes in the rear. Right here. That Civic is a, okay, hold on, let me give you a quick little rundown. These Civics, 96 to 98 is their own little generation. Then 99 to 2000 is its own little generation. And they have subtle variances between them. Like the front end has a different bumper, different headlights. And then the interior, the climate control is a little different. And they have what Honda has called OBD2A and OBD2B, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard of, but it makes a difference for when you're trying to plug in a computer. You have to have one in 99, 2000, or 96 to 98. because the plugs are different. It's like little dumb shit like that, right? However, and then, okay, also, when we go back to the climate, right? So with the climate control in 96 to 98, when you pull this lever, you are manually pulling the cable inside here to switch it from hot to cold, right? But 99 2000, it's all digital. So when you turn a knob, it does the thing for you, like, you know, today's standard cars. So like with shit like that, like that's why the 99 2000s are more desirable, but there were more 96 to 98s, you know what I mean? And as time goes on, 96 98s are cheaper because 99 2000s are more desirable. The other hatchback that I purchased has a full 2000 Civic EX, which is the best model Civic you can get besides the Civic Si. Everything. So that means that car has cruise control, which no Civic hatchbacks came with, has power windows, which no Civic hatchbacks came with. It has the upgraded climate control from the 99 2000, which that car's 96. So like, oh yeah, and the engine's a VTEC, little single cam VTEC engine. So it's a good little motor in that car. So that car also has good coilovers. That car has, yeah, D2 coilovers, has rear disc brake conversion on it. What else does it have? Man, it's got so much like little shit here and there. And it has rear lower control arms upgrade and like whole kinds of other shit. And like all these little things add up dollars, right? It just keeps adding up more and more and more and more. So like with that being said, I now have an Integra that I like, that I kind of don't want to get rid of, but I kind of need to get rid of, but I can wait on that car. I have a Civic hatchback, which I would love to keep, but I don't want to invest any time and money in that car now because I have this one right here, right? So with that being said, I'm going to start focusing on this car here. The other Civic, I'm going to start taking that car, the disc brakes off the back, the coilovers, because this car has coilovers and has camber kits front and rear. However, I drove the car around a little bit and it's a little firm. It's not it needs BC coilovers, is what it really needs, you know what I'm saying? But I don't really have the money to invest in putting that much money in suspension on the car, because then it turns into a rabbit hole. It's like, oh, if I buy coilovers, I might as well do all the bushings and the control arms, and then I might as well do this, and next thing you know, the car's down for 6 months, and you build a whole brand new car, which is just tight, but I want to drive the car because I need to drive it to work, and I got to drive it around, you know what I'm saying? I want to enjoy the car. Cool thing about this car too is it has no power steering, which I kind of like, and it sucks to drive with no power steering a little bit, but Honda's manual rack and the fact they weigh so little, you can drive this around. It's only when you're in a parking lot where it's kind of sucky. But like, I'm gonna steal all the badass parts off of the other Civic hatchback to put in this car. Now, I may steal a 2000 front end off that car and put it on here, but being that this car looks nice like this, I may just purchase a separate 2000 front end for it and then just leave that car because it's already painted that color. So I'm gonna take the bits and bobs, swap them between the two cars. The interior in the Integra is really cool because it's very, very rare. So I'm gonna probably put that seats package in this Civic too. You know, Hondas are like Legos, you know what I'm saying? You can pretty much swap almost whatever into whatever, you know what I mean? So once I do all these conversions and all these changes, that's gonna give me this car here being the ultimate car, you know what I mean? Nice engine, like I've been looking for. That was my biggest pet peeve. I was gonna trade the Integra for one of these swaps, which doesn't sound very worth it to me, only because it's just like, yo, I'm gonna trade a whole car just for a fucking engine and transmission. But that's how much these are worth, generally speaking, is you can trade a whole car for one of those and be an even swap, you know what I mean? So long story short and a short story long, you know what I'm saying? She's a runner, she's a driver. I've already taken her to dinner real quick because it was down the street. And yeah, she works. She's not the fastest thing in the world yet, but do a computer tune and a couple little things here and there. And we're going to get a jumping, foe. So I'm super excited. I'm going to change the wheels on it. I'm going to do all kinds of little things. And I hope that even though you primarily see that my cars are drift cars and stuff like that, hopefully you're starting to understand the fact that I absolutely love cars. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I like this more than anything, but it's been 15 years, maybe just over 15 years since I last truly had a Honda. And my last Honda was one of these with one of those turbocharged. And it made like 300 wheel, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in a car that weighed nothing, that was fully gutted, fully stripped, the car was quick. Probably maybe a 12-second car, you know, whatever. Nothing too crazy, but it was cool shit, you know what I'm saying? So again, I apologize for this late video. I've been moving like crazy. I haven't been filming moving. I have most of my stuff actually now in my container, which I won't show you in this video, but maybe next weekend, hopefully we're looking to move finally into the new house, which means that the only thing I have left here at this house now, as a little update, is, man, what is going on with this shit? A tire machine's moved. I'm gonna take the compressor this time. The cars are gonna go very last, taking my welder. I'm actually starting to, there we go, starting to put my shit into a bucket here, all my important stuff, bolt collection. I have all this. I do have to take all of these guys with me as well. And I gotta be honest with you, it's kind of a pain in my ass. So it's a lot of moving and a lot of like organizing while you're moving to understand what you're gonna do, where you're gonna go, where you're gonna put this, where you're gonna put that. Do you have the room for this? Do you have the room for that? You know what I'm saying? So like, I have this toolbox, I have this toolbox. This one has most of my body tools in it and some tools that I use less. So that's what that one's for. And then I have this one, which is all my main tools. I need one single box, you know what I mean? But I'm not there yet. So the new house is a quick update also, because you watching the video, you trying to see what I'm trying to do, you trying to see what I'm fucking around on and shit. But the new house, we got the go ahead for putting the building. I'm gonna build building a shop on there. So we got the go ahead for that, and we're going to start probably doing that shortly, like very shortly. It does take a lot of time, so I don't know how I'm gonna include that in the future in the videos, but I do know that I am really excited about that because this is what I have essentially been working in this whole time. This area here is nice because it's a large pad and it's flat, where the rest of all my garage is all sloped and the driveway is all sloped. That part of the driveway, all sloped. So every time I've worked on something in the driveway, it's all sloped. The garage, all sloped. So it makes it pain in the ass to like jack up cars and do this, do that, all kinds of bullshit, you know what I mean? So like the flat pad's nice, but I always stuff the flat pad with cars and shit because I have no room for anything, you know what I mean? So now the new place has tons of room, but then now workability, I'm not there yet because I don't have a shop or a place to do work on besides the garage. The new garage there is really, really small. I'll throw a picture of the 240 and the Z in there, and the 240 and the Z have just enough room to open the doors, and the back bumper is close to the garage doors, and then the fronts of the car are not too far from the wall, but enough for me to put like the tire machine in between the middle of the two. So like, it's gonna be tight space constraint, you know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate you sticking around. I appreciate you watching. I know that's probably not the video you guys are looking for. I promise you, just bear with me. Still moving my whole life from one place to another. Still have to work tons of hours on my job and shit. So like, yeah, appreciate it. And if you can do one thing, and one thing only in your life, that's to stay sucker freely, baby. You heard me?
You got $10, that's more than I had. Could be paid this thing better than nothing.